It's time now for a better Mid-Michigan. Better home, family, life.
Chances are, if you're from Mid-Michigan, you know the Dow family name. There's Dow Chemical, Dow Corning, Dow High School, but some of you may not have visited the Dow Home and Studio. Better's Sarah Jaeger is taking us on a tour.
Alden Dow grew up in Midland and was the son of Herbert and Grace Dow, Herbert being the founder of Dow Chemical. And with his family came a love of nature, a love of beauty, a love of the outdoors, and certainly an appreciation for culture and the differences in humans. Alden's interest in architecture began very young from interviews that we have from him, saying that at the age of 8, someone said, "Alden, what do you want to do?" And he's like, "Well, I want to be an architect." But he really didn't express that to his family, possibly feeling some pressure from his family to go into the company business. So he dutifully went to the University of Michigan to study engineering, and quite honestly didn't do well in it. But when he came home, he really expressed to his parents that he had a love for design. Luckily for him, he had parents that said, follow your own interests, develop who you are, find out what your passion is, and that's how you'll be happy in life. And so that led him to Columbia University, where he graduated with a degree in architecture.
Dow built this home for his family in Midland during the late 1930s, and it was declared a National Historic Landmark in 1989.
His houses blend into the environment, and so from the public view, many of them are unassuming, and you can't tell much about them. Like this structure, when you come up to it, it's very low, it's interesting, and you want to know more. You instantly start questioning about the building, about the materials, about who lived here, but it's not a large splash. You can certainly not tell that it's 20,000 square feet of office and house together.
That's right, home and office, with much of Alden's architectural work being done in the drafting room.
Certainly the drafting room is very interesting because it's part of the history of the building, and it's the only space that's been restored in the complex, so it reflects the 1930s. And then once you get into the house, there are a multitude of spaces that are fun. His office is wonderful, alive with color, a train that travels throughout 4 rooms. The old playroom is now the archives, which holds all of his architectural and personal records, over 22,000 original drawings. And then the theater, the screen porch, the living room is really a flood of natural light coming in from full floor-to-ceiling windows on 2 sides of the room with bright color and level. So every room is kind of a new adventure for you.
Another unique feature about the Alden B. Dow house, it actually sits in a pond. And there are these unique stones you can hop on to actually go out into the water.
The floating submarine conference room is pretty spectacular, both from inside and outside. From outside, it is that the building truly is just submerged right down into the pond. From the inside, you're at level with the water around you as you sit down, and then there's this reflective light that hits the pond and dances around the room. Alden really takes nature as the focus of the building. He looks at what nature is made of, that it's a balance of color, texture, form, different materials, changes in elevation. And when we start to look around the building, that's what the building is. And so we see repetition, we see a multitude of textures, whether that's the carpeting, the upholstery, wood, plaster. So he's really trying to create a natural environment, but expressed in a man-made form.
While Dow's architectural designs are frequent in Mid-Michigan, his work is known throughout the world.
You know, it's funny because he's from Midland, because the Dow name is so large here. I think people tend to say, oh, that's the Alden Dow of Midland. So he's not just a hometown architect, although he did design 132 buildings in Midland, 250 throughout the state, and then over 600 projects throughout his entire career, including the entire town of Lake Jackson, Texas, which was really part of the war effort, which is a part of our American history of how we helped win the war, World War II.
And to see this gorgeous home firsthand, all you have to do is set up a tour.
The tour, the Home Studio is open for tours Monday through Saturday at 2 p.m. and then also Fridays and Saturdays at 10 a.m. And we do ask you that you call for reservations or look up on our website, which is www.abdow.org, a brand new website we're really proud of. We also have opportunities throughout the year to come and utilize the Home Studio in different ways, so you need to watch our website for that.